You know, it's actually a lot harder to make a monster movie than one might think. You might say, oh, just get a big creature, make it look scary, and it goes about killing people, and that's your movie.
However, really think about it. Try and come up with a movie monster that is completely unique in a threat. Sure, you can say a giant insect or lizard, but that's just making a real animal bigger, something they've done since the 30s. It's actually really difficult to invent a totally fresh concept for a monster. Take the best loved horror creatures like Alien, The Thing, or even something like Pumpkinhead. They're well designed with a fully fleshed out origin and life cycle. They feel like they could really exist. Then on top of that, you also have to write an entire movie based around them that's also good. Your movie can live or die on the strength of its monster alone.
How to make a monster.
That's why Splinter caught my eye. The poster showed this human hand with hundreds of black pine needle things all over it, and I wondered, is this a disease or some weird porcupine beast? In truth, it's kind of both.
Holy motherfucker!
The plot involves a couple that are going away camping when they're carjacked and held hostage. They hit a strange creature on the road that has jet black spines all over it and still moves even when it's dead. They then stop by a gas station but find the clerk is also covered in the same stuff the animal had on it. They then all become trapped overnight as these creatures people have become threaten to kill them.
I had this guy's exact shirt on when I first watched this when it came out. It blew my mind. I love wee moments like that when you're watching a film.
I have the receipts.
The characters are completely throwaway. I didn't know any of their names or really cared. To me, they were dweeb husband, junkie, criminal on the run, and girlfriend. The acting from everyone is also just fine, besides Shea Wiggum, who you may know from, well, pretty much everything post-2008, and is always reliable. He sells his character the best he can, but it's all about the monster in the situation here.
Holy fuck!
The creature effects are fantastic. The way this thing moves, its bones snap and crack into place, and it moves so erratically.
The makeup on the reanimated corpses is also incredible. It's supposed to be feeding and absorbing these people while living as them, and it looks it. One of the best scenes is when a reanimated hand is on the loose. Personally, I don't find it intimidating at all, but the two women I watched it with were really freaking out and saying how creeped out it made them. I think if you have a fear of spiders and other fast-moving insects, then you're going to find this a particularly scary movie. My personal favourite aspect is that when you're infected, you don't slowly change like a zombie or something. The part that is infected begins to animate while it's taking over you. It lends itself to some really shocking body horror as you see this person's fingers and bones snap around while they're powerless to prevent it.
Don't touch it! Don't touch it! Get away from me! Listen!
It makes you cringe just from looking at the really gruesome imagery. And this is a rather gory film. It doesn't hold back when it comes to blood and bodies being torn apart.
The worst part of the film is the editing style. It's like a cross between shaky cam and those fast motion scenes in Saw. It really sucks.
I understand they want to heighten the chaotic nature of these scenes and only catch glimpses of the creature for the most part, but it's just annoying. One character is killed early on, and I didn't even realise it did anything to her because the editing is so confusing.
Let's get back! Let's
That was her death, by the way. Could you tell what just happened? Because I sure couldn't. It's all still worth it for the cool effects alone, but it's kinda disappointing that they couldn't flesh out the story around it with some more personality and get a better visual style. As it stands, Splinter is a movie that has an excellent invention, trapped in a fairly average film.
While it excels in bloodshed and scenarios for the beast, it leaves plot and characters in the dust. It's a case of focusing too much on one aspect of something rather than thinking of the product as a whole.